Are we ready? This is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com, and we're going to have, I think, one of the wildest and exciting streams that we've had in a long time. And I know we use the term excited quite a bit, but I tell you what, today is it's justified. Let me just put it that way, because there's just going to be so much. I am just so looking forward to what we're going to get into today. We're going to be giving away a lot of things today, and I'm just so grateful for the developers that have just really been such a blessing to me and to the channel, and in turn, we can just give that blessing and pass that on to you guys. So I just want to welcome everyone today, and today's special guest is going to be Jason Chapman, of course, from Production Voices. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the 300 grand and going behind the scenes and kind of looking behind the curtain a little bit to just to get to know Jason and know his instruments a little bit better. So I just want to welcome everyone today. Thank you guys so much. And that's what it's all about, the joyful sound. And I'm so blessed. And I'm so grateful for all the blessings. And that's why I get so crazy and so happy. People say, why are you so crazy and happy all the time? Because I've been so blessed and just so grateful to all of you. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to kick it off with the Wheel of Fun. I want to catch up with a couple of the giveaways that we have. Okay, let's see. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, and I'm actually using a new chat bot because we're going to be doing some interesting things here. And let's see. And okay, let's see what we've got. And Emmanuel, you're good. You're good. I see where it said. So everything's going to be good. Let's see. I'm just going to disable excess caps and just different. So this is the first thing. This is the first thing we're going to do here, is get this going, because we're going to have a lot of fun. I want to get a lot of this crazy stuff out of the way. All right, here we go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, let's see. I want to make sure. Let's pull up. I want to make sure I pull up the right wheel. So what we're going to do is we're going to give away the Orchestral Tools muted brass and the VSL. There we go. The VSL synchronized soprano choir. And so let's see. So here we go. So the okay. I've got so many windows open here. It's like juggling a bunch of plates here. So muted brass is their newest sign library, and it's really cool. And you can go check out the video. It looks like they're still on intro on this one. And so this is the first thing that we're going to give away. So let's spin the Wheel of Fun and get ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, yay. Okay, so it's Yufi Zhao. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Congratulations. You're the winner of the muted brass library from Orchestral Tools. And then the other thing that we covered in, I guess it was the stream, past stream, was the Vienna Symphonic Library synchronized voices. So this is voices that they've recorded in the silent stage originally, and then they synchronized them to work in the synchron player. So this is for the soprano choir, and here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. I'm excited. I'm excited. Did I say that I was excited? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Opa. Okay. All right. So Cam Van Ravens, you're the winner for the Vienna Symphonic Library's soprano voices, synchronized soprano voices. So congratulations on that. So okay, so we're going to close the wheel of fun, but believe me, it's not over. So you guys know you saw where we featured the 300 grand compact, and then almost to the year. I mean, it was like there was a memory that popped up of the thumbnail that I used for the 300 grand compact, like a year to the day almost that the 300 grand was released. And that was just really amazing. And so I'm just so happy to be able to welcome Jason Chapman with us from Production Voices. And we are going to talk about 300 grand. We're going to play some more. And of course, we're going to give away a copy. And there may be some more surprises down the road. So I just want us to welcome Jason Chapman from Production Voices. Welcome to the live stream today.
Oh man, it's awesome to be here.
Okay.
A little feedback, but that's okay.
Yeah, man. Feedback. You know every movie, almost every movie that has somebody walking up to a podium, I guess it's just like
that's a good sign, right?
Whoop, so we're on the right track. So all right. So man, okay, so first things first, how long has Production Voices been producing sample libraries?
Oh, probably, oh man, 2010? I don't know if, I gotta get my numbers right. But yeah, 12 years of
Wow.
doing that.
And what was your first library that you produced?
The first library that I produced was Studio Grand LE. And I produced that after recording some artists in the studio. So, can I give you some backstory?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so I was in the studio with 2 artists. We booked the studio for the day. We'd set up all the microphones. We had 4 microphones, like stereo pairs up. And one of the artists had made a couple of like little flubs that I knew I couldn't quite fix. So I thought, I'll go sample the piano. So then that way I could just replace what they were playing, right?
Oh, wow.
So if they had any notes, I could just go back in and do it. So the piano came right from my own production. So I kept it for myself. I didn't share it with anyone for a long time, and then finally decided to see if I could make a library out of it.
So you basically did it. You basically did it to replace something else, to replace like the actual piano recording, and that's
yeah, just a couple of notes that would have been an issue, right? So if I needed to stick a note in, I could do that.
That's great. That's great.
And then also because we want a consistent sound, if there was a song afterwards that wasn't recorded during that time, the piano sounded exactly the same, so the album was consistent with the tone, right?
Yeah, that's great. Because that's what you got to do. Yeah, and it's like when you set up the mics, you've got to keep them the same, because you can't go back a week later and they're going to be a little different, and so it's like you'll get a totally different sound.
Yeah, even if the humidity's different and the temperature's different, it's just crazy. Pianos just go out, microphones, yeah, everything.
Absolutely. So, okay, so 300 grand. So first of all, where did the name 300 grand come from?
That was my wife, and she was suggesting that's how much all the equipment and everything cost in order to put this thing together.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, because we had studio grand, concert grand, production grand. It had to be something grand, right? So.
Oh yeah. So 300 grand. That's kind of like it kind of fits into both worlds there.
Yeah. A lot of equipment, a lot of money. No, I didn't pay that. That's cost of the piano, and.
Oh yeah, so you use the Yamaha CFX
Yeah, disc
and
clavier. Yeah,
okay, so it's a disc clavier. So that's
yeah,
how you were able to sample so many velocity layers.
so smoothly.
Yeah.
But they don't show up perfectly calibrated, despite what people may think. We had to go through the whole piano, recalibrate it a couple of times, test all the velocity ranges. Um, disc claviers also, like when they hit around 88 velocity, they don't go any louder.
Oh
So in
wow.
order to get the range, you have to like bypass some safety stuff and then not tell anybody. And then also check for the dynamic range, right? So you don't want to record the last 8 velocities and they all sound the same dynamic level. Like, so we had to calibrate everything and make sure that the upper end of the piano is just as good as the lower end, and do some measurements. And
That's one of the hardest things I think, especially here lately with sample libraries, is piano libraries, is the velocity sensitivity, and that makes or breaks what you experience as a player. I think that's probably the most asked question that I get, or the comment is like, why doesn't my piano sound like the piano that you were playing, and we were playing the same library, but
yeah,
yet my controller's different, the
my
velocity's
users
different.
complain about that too. They say, "Why does it sound better when he does it?"
Yeah, yeah. And I always have to go back and say, well, other than just, it's velocity. A lot of it is the curve. It's the way that keyboard controller
Yeah,
is communicating with that
yeah,
library. And
yeah,
if the library's not getting that information, it can't perform to the best. And there are certain, and this is the thing I started asking them. I said, "Do you have a such and such controller?"
right, right.
And it begins
Are we
with
naming names, or
it
we,
begins
what is
with the
that?
letter Y, and I always say "ha" at the end,
Yeah,
because it's like it never fails. It's a lot of times the Yamaha digital pianos
yep.
have the worst
Mm,
response for some reason,
hmm.
um, but everything, but they work with the curves and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
velocity is very important. So
I can control the recording, but I can't control what people play it back on. So that's frustrating as a developer. And I would love to have like a standard for keyboard controllers, that if we said this many grams of weight is considered, the minimum velocity that a key can be pushed down, like from a technical standpoint, we'd all like to start at the same level, right?
right.
So then you can say at this speed, we'll determine that to be 127 velocity, but that's not the case. So I mean, I develop on a VPC. You can probably see it behind me
Oh yeah.
here. Yeah. So my curves are absolutely flat. The manufacturer's flat curves on it. So um, one of my libraries, Concert Grand, we have to change the curve on it just so that it sounds a little bit better. But 300 grand was totally flat. It
Well,
sounds
the
that's
VPC is like it's like butter. When I actually got to go to Sweetwater. I was doing something up in Michigan. So if you get anywhere near Fort Wayne, you gotta
right,
go
right.
to Sweetwater. So I was able to kind of play some of those VPCs, and it was like, yeah, it's just like the closest thing you can get to a real piano action in a
Right,
controller.
right. Yeah.
It's got the escapement. It's got just such a beautiful response. And then the SL88 that I have, the SL88
Hmm.
Grand, to me is the next best thing. If you can't get a VPC one,
Right.
then the SL88 Grand for me is just been such a marvelous keyboard.
I'd love to try it.
Yeah, it's got the
Here, I'll reach over.
yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, he's coming through the screen.
Oh
So
man.
give us a little bit of, and guys, I'm watching the chat a little bit. So if you've got questions for Jason, I'm going to just try to monitor these the best that I
Yeah,
can.
let us know.
And so, but just just kind of give us a behind the curtain about how 300 grand came about. And I know the pandemic played a big part in that. So kind of help
Yeah.
walk us through that.
Sure. We'd finished Production Grand and Concert Grand, and another large company, not to be named, wanted to license some of our samples to include in a development project that they were doing. And they wanted to have more velocities on Production Grand and license it as the C7. And I thought, well, the best way to get more velocities is not to fake them, bring in like the two in between velocities and then say, okay, you kind of mix them in so that you create more layers, right?
Yeah.
That's what some other companies have done. But I thought, well, if I get the exact same C7 and I know the studio that it was in, I could just re-record it all and do it at a much better level and release it as the next version of that. So I called up the Toronto studio where I was at, found out where the piano was. They put it in a brand new studio, and they said that they wouldn't let us record it because it was owned by an institution. So I thought, well, maybe I can find another piano to do this. And at the same time, the CFX had come up and another concert hall was available. So it's kind of like whenever you sample, it's like lightning in a bottle. You got to find the perfect instrument when the engineer's available, when I'm available, when the instrument's available, when nobody else is using a venue for like 10 days or more at a time, and put it together. So that kind of led to me thinking, well, I'll sample another instrument. And then I hadn't done a concert hall yet because it's impossible to get one right at that time. So I was lucky. This was just before the pandemic, and the place that was the concert hall, they couldn't use the concert hall because construction was going on around it, and they couldn't do parking or something ridiculous like that. It's like, I don't need to park, I just need to go in and record, right?
Right.
So, and this hall actually had a CFX already, but it wasn't a disc clavier. So for me to record it, I would have to either hand sample it or get my machine in to do it. And for Concert Grand, I actually built a robot to mechanically hit the keys for me, and which is another story all in itself. Funny story. Side note. We'll do a side note.
Yeah.
My daughter, she has this little teddy bear. Okay, this makes sense. This will all make sense. And it has this button in the middle that you press the button and the belly lights up, and at night becomes this, like a nightlight teddy bear thing that you have,
it projects, right? Like it projects the, I guess. Yeah. That's cool.
You got it. This all makes sense. This will all come around. So it broke, and I took it all apart and I soldered it back together, and I got to work. And my wife was super impressed. She's like, "Wow, you were able to fix that? That's amazing." I was like, I built a robot that plays the piano. Fixing the
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, right? Sometimes I forget.
Yeah, that's wild.
So then I didn't want to bring out the robot because the robot that I built, it only does like kind of the middle range velocities very well. It doesn't do the lower end velocities or the upper end. So in Concert Grand, I had to hand sample up and down and kind of make the rest of the range to get, well into the 20 velocities, right? So it was best to get a disc clavier in for the CFX and do it. So with the disc clavier in, and I was very, very lucky that I don't know if anyone's ever recorded in a studio before, but the sound level that's acceptable. Any ideas? We should ask people in the comments. What is the acceptable decibel level for a recording studio for noise floor? Like just quiet. What's the sound? What's the noise? Right?
Yeah.
Any guesses? Who do we got for guessing?
I don't see.
Come on, Emmanuel. I know you're there.
It's got to be crazy low. So
most studios kind of accept like anywhere between 32 decibels noise floor up to 40, or that's getting a little bit loud, right? But if you're sampling a piano that trails out, you're going to have that noise floor mixed in with the sound of the piano, right?
Oh, yes, yes. And I've experienced that with a lot of different libraries. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard because you have dither as well. So dither is like when you convert 24-bit audio to 16-bit. Maybe some of your users will know you have to add a small amount of noise in there in order to maintain a higher bit rate than 16 bits to preserve some of the 24-bit to get in there. Okay. But either way, this brand new studio that we were in, we were so lucky with the concert hall that it was like as low. I've never heard a studio be that silent before.
Wow. In the concert hall.
In the concert hall.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they built it and it's like, it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful building.
And that's up in Toronto.
That's in an undisclosed location near me.
In an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed. I was actually told I couldn't use any of their branding or anything.
Okay.
The labeling, yeah. I can ride there on my bicycle, so if anybody.
Wow.
So.
Well, that's cool. Okay. So, any other fun things that you want to share about 300 grand before we actually pull it up and kind of play with it some?
Oh, this. Are people interested in knowing the process behind what it takes and?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think I'm not quite sure if your users are aware that most sample library developers are independent people like me. It's just some guy in his house, right, doing the sample libraries, and it's usually not a huge team. So production of voices is mostly just me, right, doing these things. But our sampling session, we have to book the piano, we have to get it in, we calibrate, bring in all our equipment. It takes a lot of time to decide what equipment we use, what microphones to choose, where you're going to place them, and what the sound planning should be. You'll see some libraries where they pull the piano top off, which is pretty cool, right? In a studio, then you can place your microphones on top. But you don't get projection in a hall if you leave the lid of the piano or take the lid off, because the sound is just going everywhere.
Yeah,
it's
everything just
omnidirectional, right?
Yeah.
So then if you place a piano on stage, you want the sound to project out through the stage or whatever. So you have to plan where your microphones are. You have to kind of figure out how much hall and ambience you're going to get into each of these microphones, and what sort of variety might make sense for a user. And so when I was making these decisions, I thought, well, every piano has to have that close hammer sound where you have the microphones right over top. And that's classic piano sound, right? Like a large diaphragm condenser is just right over top of the hammers. Nice, bright attack. That's your inside mics. But then at the same time, the classical purists really want, distant sound, hall, but not just reverb, right?
Right.
So yeah. And then the question is how can you bring all these microphones together so that they make sense, they all work together, and what is the sound? So that's kind of the planning stage going in. And then a piano of this size rings out. Okay, we can ask in the comments below. 9-foot grand piano, how long does the longest string ring out for? Any guesses for duration?
Okay, so like the longest string on the piano, like you're talking about the A, and how
Yep.
long, what's the decay, like the natural decay from like beginning to end? How long is that going to ring out?
Yeah, play the loudest note you got. And how long is it going to decay for? So you can get up to minute 10, minute 20, and then the question is in a big hall where something can really resonate and sing out, and there's no real, I'm trying to think of any sort of thing acoustically stopping the string from ringing out. So then, do you sample that? Do you record out to the end?
Yeah.
So then, if you're doing 16 velocities, and you're doing 1 minute, there's 16 minutes for one note.
Just one note.
One note. But we're not doing 16, we're doing 36. So now we're half hour, 40 minutes of recording per note.
Wow.
And then you have to think, you have to leave space for the mechanism to come back up. So you have to plan for the amount of space. When does it come down? What happens if there's a noise or something creak, bench creak or something in there? Do you resample the note, or do you draw it out afterwards, like draw it out in RX? So there's software that allows you to pull out little noises that happen, right? So the real answer to that question for anyone who wants to be a sample library developer is you resample the note.
Yeah.
Because 1 minute now will save you half an hour later. Because it takes you half an hour to go in, draw it out, figure, does it sound right? And, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot of times. Sometimes when you make a mistake, it's like I find myself doing the same thing when I'm working on an arrangement or something. I'll make a mistake or something, then I'll go and try to edit it, and it was like, man, I could have already played it like 3 times by the time it took me to go in and try to fix it. So this is I guess the main thing. I guess one of the big things, one of the big takeaways I want everybody to understand is that exactly what you're talking about right now is that for one note, and you're doing 36 velocity layers, you could be into it close to 45 minutes to an hour just for one note.
For one note. And that's just pedal up. You have to do that again for pedal down.
So that...
And una corda, right? Soft pedal down,
yeah,
pedal up. So then if you're doing that, like one note could be up to 4 hours.
Yeah, for one note.
For one note. And there's 88 of them, just in case anybody didn't know.
Wow. Yeah, and I think that's what we take for granted, because we load it up and we go da 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 da, and it was just like, okay, so every note that I'm playing here could have taken up to 4 hours to actually capture the sample, not even thinking about editing it and scripting it and everything else.
Yeah. So some companies are a little bit more sophisticated than me with the editing. So then they can set up like MIDI notes that are at the same time as the audio, and then you can have a computer kind of trim your notes automatically for you. I have to trim twice when I cut things, because there's the mechanism, the key mechanism noise that comes down. So when you press a key, before the key actually, the hammer comes up on the other side, you're getting the mechanism noise, right? And that's a lot of realism in the piano. So then that has to be one segment of the sound. But to explain that, and I don't know if pianists we intuitively know this, but we don't actually have seen it technically in front of us, is that the slower you play a note, the longer the pre-attack is, because you're taking a longer time pressing the hammer mechanism down. The quicker you go down, the shorter the note is, but it's not consistent and even across the whole keyboard. The lower end, the hammer shank and so on, is a different distance than on the upper end of the notes, right? So in order for me to separate pre-attack from the actual attack portion of the waveform, it's we have to go in and edit each of those notes twice in order to, even if you're identifying them properly. So some people could use curves to say, okay, I'll take one sample, and then part of it way through is that pre-attack, and we'll just offset the sample start to that point, and we'll use a computer algorithm to figure out, across the keyboard, the scaling for that. But it doesn't work out perfectly, right? What works out perfectly is when you go in and you listen and you find out when the actual tone of the piano starts and you put the note in. So I could have gone in and guesstimated these, but we didn't. So maybe that was not so wise because it took forever. But I went in and put in every single pre-attack, and we did it. And it was actually an editor here in London that did most of that work. His name was Kyle Ashbourne. So he did most of that editing, and I was doing the quality control on that. So
it's amazing. So how many guys total that were involved in doing this? You and you say an editor? Just
yep.
Not that many guys.
Yeah, no, there's my engineer that worked with me was Dejan Martineau from Toronto. He's an excellent producer, amazingly talented gentleman. He's a freelance engineer and producer in Toronto.
Wow.
And all my big libraries I've done with him, Production Grand, Concert Grand, and 300 Grand, because we used the studio, Phase 1 studios, while it was still in operation to do the first two pianos. So
Amazing. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and pull up
oh,
300
that's perfect.
300 grand and
I want to give a shout out to the designers. The designers were Kovdra, if I'm not mistaken, and they are from the Ukraine.
oh
And,
wow.
and
now
we
is that
finished this before the war, before there was a Russian invasion. But I just wanted to say that my thoughts are with them as they're still living in Ukraine.
Absolutely. So I follow a graphic design company from Ukraine that does a lot of UI. Is it this? It might be the same group, TVOC or something like that, or I
This
don't know.
is Kovdra.
Oh, okay. What was the name again?
Kovdra. I just want to see Kovdra design. I want to make sure that I'm saying it properly. Yeah, Kovdra.
Wow.
Kovdra.
Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful. They did such a beautiful job with this, and this is just the same. Well, just the first. Yeah, I just gotta just breathe. Just breathe. Okay. This is just the first preset that comes up, and I'm using the 300, just the 300 grand main.
Yeah, so that'll be 16 velocities. Yeah.
So 16
to 18.
velocities.
Yeah,
So
16 on the lower end, 18 on the upper.
let me just throw this over here. And so we've got, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me close that and open it again. Lots of graphic things going on here.
Hey, no problem.
Okay.
Make it look good, okay?
Oh, yeah. So we've got all of these different main presets here. We've got 300 grand 22, so that's 22 velocities.
It's 22 and 23. I wanted to make sure that no one said, hey, you're going on the upper end and lying to us about that. So it's actually 23 on the upper end and 22 on the lower end. Same with the 30. The 30 is 30 to 34, I believe.
So when you say upper and lower, you're talking about just the key range?
The splits, because of the timing we had and how we had to calculate, how much sampling time we had left in the session to do things. We split it up, and we said the minimum that we would give is 32 velocities, and then but we got up to 36 velocities in the upper end. So like C5 and up on either pedal down or pedal up, and then C4 and up on either one of those, whatever it is. Yeah.
And then we've got a 36 velocity ambisonic
36.
ambisonics preset, and we'll look into that. We're going to look into that, and then 32 velocities channel 1 through 9. Now, what is that is focusing on?
So that's anything except ambisonics.
Okay.
And the reason why we had to do this is because there's a limit in Kontakt, a hard limit on the number of samples that we can put in. So if I was to include everything at 32 to 36 velocities, Kontakt wouldn't take the right amount of samples to do it.
Okay.
So we reached the limit.
So 300 grand's pretty much like a safe, just the 300 grand by itself is just a safe preset to use. But you know what? We are not going to be safe around here. We like to walk on the wild side a little bit. So I'm gonna load the 32V.
Yeah.
And let's look at that. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. And we don't really need the keyboard, so we can just see this beautiful interface.
I don't know if you've seen this before, though. If you select the I for info, that down below, like when you're hovering over one of the controls, it will tell you everything about it and what it's doing.
Okay. So I'm not okay. So where am I looking in the wrong?
You will see under it's info underneath the menu bar. So you're almost there. It's like my mouse doesn't quite hover. It's right above the I. under info in the line where it says purge, you have your
Oh,
key
yes.
shots. But if you go up one more, just a little bit more, there's in your menu above right there. Yeah. Oh, are you using Kontakt Player?
No, this is Kontakt. Well, it should be the latest version here.
Yeah.
Let's see
Usually it
something
will
here.
have a info. There you go, info down below. Now that info line, when you have the info line on, as soon as you hover over and it's on, yeah. So then it will tell you everything about it, right?
Oh, that's great.
So then when you go to ambisonics, it will say 32V only has external ambisonics only.
Okay, let me stretch this out a little bit more. There we go. Yeah.
And then your info line, once you hover over anything, it will tell you. So hover over the volume of ambisonics.
Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
And let me let me stretch this out some more, because that info is kind of cool, because I'm one that I love to see as much quote unquote info as I can, because it just so helps you to kind of immerse yourself into the instrument there. Yeah. So when you hover over that, it's only in the 32V. Great. Okay.
I wanted to let people know I am well aware that, I am a little ADD and I put in way too much information into 300 grand. So I put in that info line so that people could kind of figure out what I was doing there.
Okay. So got a question from Wei Li.
Yes.
And can I turn off the silent key option?
Yes. Not within 300 grand itself. I had someone send me this exact same question. Maybe it was the same user today or yesterday. And I think we should explain it to people, is that when you take a piano key and you push it down as slow as possible, it doesn't make a sound, right?
Right.
So on a keyboard controller, if you want to emulate the true piano experience, when you have velocity of 1, the piano actually shouldn't sound. But that drives some users crazy because they're like, I want it to sound no matter what. So, but like on a piano, we wouldn't go up to the piano technician and say, when I press it so soft, make sure it happens. But users have a reason for that, and they like the touch to be smooth. So the way to get around that is if you scroll up in Kontakt, there is a script above for your multi. And the script in your multi allows you to open up a velocity there. Now, if I share my screen, I could do it on mine as well. So whichever is easier for you.
Probably we can do it here. If you can you can walk me through it.
Sure, let's do that. So then what you have to do is you have to go up, and you're not showing it fully on the screen.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's see.
I love your hotkeys.
Oh,
there you go.
I mean, this thing is this is such a lifesaver.
So it says multi-rack right there, and it says new default.
Okay.
Right below, or right above where it says 300 grand 32V.
Right here.
Yeah. Way to the right it says KSP.
Okay.
So if you bring your, okay, so it's a little bit, yeah. Now you're going to go to presets on the left. They'll say bypass presets, edit.
Okay.
You're there. There you
yes.
go. Down one more.
Edit.
Perfect. You got it. Not edit. No.
Nope.
Oh no. This is like live tech support. I love it.
Okay.
Okay. Presets.
Preset.
You got it underneath bypass. Presets. Yeah. Factory. Yep. Transform. And you should have change velocity. There it is.
Okay. Let me just see. So I'm going to hide this so we can see everything. So we go. Okay. So let's just back up. So multi-rack, we go. Oh, let's see.
KSP. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this right so we can see everything. Yeah, this is what I love. I love being in these moments where we can explore together. So, okay, so we go
this
to...
is terrific, yeah.
We go to multi-rack, and then we go all the way over to KSP.
Yep.
We go to preset,
You got it.
factory, transform,
And
and
change velocity.
change velocity.
You are now our tech support. Yeah, I'll send all questions over to you.
And then
underneath minimum, it will say minimum is 1. So that's the minimum velocity that you can actually play, right?
okay, minimum
So
is
then-
1.
Yeah. So if you bring that up to 2 or 3,
Okay, so you can't
so
actually.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so we
Up
go to
Up to
2.
2 or 3. 2. So now the lowest velocity note that you can play, no matter how slowly you play your controller, is 2, and it will play the piano.
So
So a note will come through. So you can adjust it to get whatever the volume, if it has to be 3 or 4. Or
yeah,
whatever.
because I'm just kind of like doing it really slowly.
Yeah.
But it's still probably okay. Yeah. And then we can bump it up to 3. Let's see. Oh, the minimum velocity. Okay, so the minimum velocity is 2. Okay. Okay. So it's still playing something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I hope
And-
that helps.
That is for any library, of course, because these are available, doesn't matter what piano library you have open.
Right. Okay. So cool. Yeah, it's just something. If you've got Kontakt full, yeah, BF, it's just like it's just so important to be able to get behind those. If you can do those kinds of things, it's great that you have that ability to be able to edit those things. That's great. Okay, so yeah, let's just play. The hammer mics are just so clear.
So right now you have the outside on.
Okay, I got the outside on. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So those are the
That's,
tube mics,
Yeah,
modern tube mics.
149 outside microphone perspectives, close piano sound.
Close. Yep.
Okay, let's do that. Let's just kick on the ham. And I love having all 9 things here. So we're
You
loading.
got to turn the volume up. So you just control click or bring it up.
We're
There you go.
loading. We're loading. And these are Rode NT2s.
No, those are U87s.
U87s. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I was in
AIs.
the inside or the NT2s. That's great. Yeah. So let's just go through these mics real quick.
Sure.
And someone said, we're going to talk about the different mics, and then we'll get into some of the reverb settings. So control click. Okay, so control click will set
Or
that.
alt click, it'll bring it up. There you go.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there's
I'm
no-
just going to go ahead and have these. So the inside now, this is the Rode NT2s now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
My feed on the live broadcast is mono, in case you're wondering.
Oh, gee whiz. Are you kidding me? Did I not change that? Hold on. Ah, snap. Let's see.
We'll see how many other people recognized it as mono.
Yeah, I've got the mono deselected. So I'm hearing it stereo here.
Oh, you know what it might be? Maybe it's because I'm listening through Skype.
You're listening through Skype. Yeah, the glories of Skype audio. But I've heard somebody say that Skype audio, they do a great job with that. Um, but if it's not stereo, what good are you? What good are you if it's not stereo? Yeah. Hey, hey, yeah. Yeah. And the $149, that is not an intro price, is it?
No,
That is the
no,
price.
that is the price. Yeah, and I think a lot of people like it was as a developer. I mean, I make awesome piano samples. I'm not good at the marketing and figuring this stuff out, right?
Yeah.
So I really thought 149 was I think for what you get an exceptional value and probably a product that's never going to go on sale. It's going to be what it is, and
Yeah.
I'd love to give people, an amazing value.
It's
But
just no games. It's just, people know what
yeah,
they're getting, and
yeah.
definitely the value is absolutely there. Okay.
So one of the things I don't know if you hear is that the difference between the hammers and the inside. The inside they're almost near identical. It's just more of the attack that's quite a bit, um, just a little bit smoother, more body, less. It's a forward sound, but without an aggressive attack.
So the hammer is a little more aggressive
Yeah, yeah,
because you've got them closer to the hammers, of course, and then
yeah.
the roads are a little bit farther out
Back
a little
on the
bit.
strings, and then you hear more of the resonance from the soundboard.
This is the hammer, Mike.
Yep.
Now let's do the inside.
Now you can leave them on and just pull the volumes down.
Okay. Yeah, this is the inside.
They're going to be very similar sounding.
This is them together. And I don't think I don't have any reverb on right now. So this is just
Yeah.
the yeah.
So the beautiful way of the benefit of recording it like this, and I'm sure other sample libraries do the same thing, is that now you can control the amount of ambience that you get, right? So close-up microphone, you're taking some of the hall out, and then for styles of music that don't require that ambience, you can still get an aggressive forward sound on your piano.
And let me just double check. Somebody said it was kind of clipping, and let's make sure. Yeah, so I'm just making sure that I don't move that one loop back volume level, so we can make sure that that limiter is catching anything crazy. So the outside mic is the tube
Yep.
microphones.
Spaced pair, cardioid pattern.
So we can kind of see a little bit.
Yeah, those are the stage that you're pointing at. The outside would be closer to the piano, like
Okay.
right there. Yeah, on
Okay.
the side. Yeah.
Cool. So this is the tube. It's just got a different tone.
The engineer calls these the golden mics.
Wow.
They're beautiful microphones.
So let's just talk about the reverb while we're here.
Sure.
And let's throw some little reverb on here. So we've got all of these different.
Yeah, my suggestions, if I was to go through, is that if users take a look on the right side with anything that says hall, where It's at near the top. I'll say Hall 300. These were all the sampled reverbs, the convolution reverbs that I created for each microphone perspective. That when we created the impulse response for them, they're actually from the Hall in the exact same position that the microphones were there. We did it with the piano in place and everything. So when you choose 300 PLR, that's the player position, hammer position, inside, outside, ribbon, and so on, right? So you'll see each of those. So the most ambient that you'll get is the Omnis in the Hall, which will say OM, I believe.
Okay, so we'll do that. So this is like the Hall microphones.
Yep.
Placed way out here. Okay, so let's use that.
And then you have to use the reverb send on the channel.
Yeah, and it's right here.
So again, I'd be hearing this in mono, but hopefully your users are hearing it in stereo.
Yeah, this is the impulse response from the Hall, Brian. Yeah, so this is like that, the impulse response captured from the Hall microphones. And that's really nice. Okay, so we've got a question. Is it possible to combine, let's say, out one plus the stage mic, but give stage mic some delay? Or should...
No, that's an excellent question, and I wish I was the one who planted it in the audience because it's such an amazing question. And the answer is absolutely, it is possible. Ooh. Because you can turn on outside one like you did, plus the stage mic, and not delay. I assume they mean reverb. And so you would crank the reverb down on out one and turn it up on the stage. And so then individually, each microphone has its own reverb send amount.
So is it like time domain? I guess I'm wondering if he's talking about maybe the actual microphone time.
Oh, the time between them.
The time between them, like the mean time, like the...
Oh, yeah.
Because like the sample would pick up sooner on a closer mic and then later on the other one.
Yeah, we should mention something about that, is that all the microphones were done in place. So if you do turn on the Hall microphone on its own, not saying you have to do it now, but we put this in a way that I offset the sample so that it's going to sound right away. It's not going to have the same delay as if when you have it with the hammer mic in the Hall. When the hammer mic and the Hall mic are on, the sound starts at the hammer mic, and there's proper editing where the Hall mic is in phase and exactly where it needs to be.
Okay.
But in order to give more delay or distance to those, yes, you would need two instances if that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
And then like if you're in Kontakt or Pro Tools or whatever, you can choose the amount of delay time on the inspector for each of those,
so basically all the mics are time aligned. They're all sort of time aligned. So
we edited right like at the hammer mics, the closest mic, and everything down. So if you choose not to have the hammer mics and the piano is playing like a Hall mic, there is a 20 millisecond pre-delay of silence, right? But we calculated that silence, I should say, and if you only have the Hall mic on, it does change the start time to be the appropriate time, and it depends on which microphone you have on. So if you just
let's just do this. Let's just turn the Hall mic on, and so the hammer mic's the hammer mic's down, and
you shouldn't experience any latency.
And you hear that decay.
Yep.
And then if you turn the hammer mic on, I just I love that yeah, the sound just going it going off the stage like that. You just hear that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's life. It's just like
yeah. It's real. It's real.
it's real. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I hear so many different well, one in particular, it escapes me. The one, it's like it's really tight. There's like very little of that release, but this is so nice. And then the Hall 2 mic um, is another pair of Omnis.
yeah. No, it's a pair of Omnis spaced in the hall.
Yeah, and you can hear a different decay with that. Yeah. Yeah, you just hear that natural oomph. And then when you have that like the closer mics in, yeah, that's just gorgeous. So let's turn on some more mics.
Turn them all on. That's what I
Let's
say. And then you can
turn them
adjust the
all on.
volume.
I've got 64 gigs of RAM, and why not? The other thing I want to compliment you guys on in this is that the CPU is like it just like barely is touching. So with all the mics on and doing this kind of stuff,
Yeah, you can see your voice count get up high too, right?
oh yeah.
300. Now, if you click on the voice count itself, it's set, I believe I set it to 750 or something.
Yeah, I was pushing
Yeah,
pushing that close to yeah,
768.
768.
Yeah, you
Um,
can crank that to whatever your CPU wants. I just set it to something that I thought wasn't,
yeah,
insane.
just
So,
doing that crazy thing that I just did with everything on. It was just getting above 20%. So
yeah.
um, wow. Okay, so let's listen to the player mic, and I might as well turn the hammers on.
I have the
And
player mic with me.
with
I brought it in.
oh yeah,
Oh, you'll just see me duck away here.
yeah, sure.
You go ahead and play.
Oh, I got the Hall 2 mic
Best
turned
player
up
in the
too.
hall. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is just player by itself. So that's a binaural. It's like a little binaural.
Yeah, this is kind of like a poor man's binaural. This is for field recording engineers. This is kind of like kind of a secret sauce for a lot of people,
Oh yeah.
right? This is the Crown SAS. Mine's not a Mark II, but I can make it almost a Mark II just with some equalization, which we've done in it. And what this does is if I kind of put it next to my head, which is kind of ridiculous, right? You
Yeah.
can say this will be your new screenshot, by the way. Thing. This is like a setup. I'm trying to put it in so that on screen I can see it. There we go. It's the opposite direction stuff that's driving me.
Yeah.
Is that this is imitating a head, and the microphone capsules are on either side here. If I see one and then the other, right? You can see them right. Yeah, it's hard which one I'm tapping. There we go. So the microphones are right there. And those represent kind of the same thing as our distance between our ears, right?
Yeah.
And then this foam is, kind of our, the part of our head that's absorbing the sound and such. So this microphone is very similar to, the Neumann binaural that some people use as well. This one's kind of a pseudo binaural. And the nice part about this microphone is that it's also stereo compatible. So it does, like you can do it stereo without headphones on. It sounds just as good with headphones on as well.
Wow.
So then that gives you the sense of a head and placement, and you can see it in the picture right at the keyboard, right? That's a microphone.
Yeah.
Kofdra did a nice job with the design showing that microphone. And when you put that right at the player's position, it's binaural. It's like, sounds like you're right at the piano.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And again, no reverb. There's no, I don't have any reverb going on in here. And it just sounds just so beautiful. And so if I put the Hall, the Omni Hall,
Yep.
It's going to push it out into the...
Yeah, that might be a little loud, but we'll give it a try.
I never know what I'm going to play. It just kind of...
So for users to compare, you can bring the Hall 2 mic up.
Okay.
And leave the reverb on the player and kind of see. So now you're going to get kind of the smooth, kind of more direct sound from the Hall. So the piano is actually making it to the Hall and through the Hall mics, plus you're adding that reverb.
Wow. It just gives you so many different ways to shape the tone.
Yep.
Using the reverbs from different microphones, using the different, I guess it's just such a palette of different, yeah. Give me some, hey guys in the chat, if you just throw out some song titles or different things, get the brain going a little bit. That's just incredible.
I would try like player with its own player reverb. So if you go up to the Hall, reverb at the top, and then you'll choose player as the first setting, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I would still include a little bit of Hall with that. But you can hear what it sounds like player with its own player reverb. Kind of smooths out the sound a little bit because it's kind of hearing the reverb twice.
Yeah. Now let's throw some Hall in there. And
sure.
Yeah, to get that.
If I was doing that in a production, I'd pull the reverb back on the player a little bit. Yeah. And then the Hall just a little more.
Interesting.
So if users haven't seen, or if people haven't seen yet, what we've done is on the left side of the interface is dry sounds, and as you move to the right, there's more ambience.
There is a
So
method behind the
yeah,
madness.
so if you want kind of a medium ambience, you're going right in the middle for a single mic perspective, right? But if you want a really dry sound, you're on the left. Really wet sounds are on the right. So
That's
then
great.
it goes from distance from the piano, right? Closest are on the left, and the furthest away from the pianos move out as you go along.
That's very intuitive. It just okay. So right now, I've got almost 6 gigs loaded with these 8
Yep,
mic positions loaded, and so Ultra
that's
Nova.
with 32 velocities. Yeah.
Okay, 32 velocity. So what's the total storage size for the whole library?
On my computer, it's 72 gigs.
Okay.
But Native Instruments, when you go native access, says 67.76 or something like that. So it depends on what your hard drive is formatted to. So yeah, on most Macs that do regular formatting, it will be around 72. And then if you're formatting on PC, it'll be a little bit less, just because of the
Clusters.
sector
Sector
size.
size. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Okay.
So that's compressed lossless. So when you look at the library uncompressed, you're well over 200 something gigabytes, right?
Wow, incredible. Okay, so like let's go to like one of the snapshots. Somebody mentioned like Claire de Lune. So what would be a good snapshot for that?
Let's take a look at them, and I would say probably stage. So then you have to switch over and see some sort of. So your choices are, let me just see. You got piano performance. You would say pure stage, Puritan Hall, or Puritan Hall, one or the other. So Puritan Hall would be probably just the hall. So then you're not going to get a lot of clarity to the sound, but you'll get like classical, what you would expect from a recording, from a recital. Pure stage would be then just the stage with it.
Yeah, so this is just using that hall.
Yeah.
And it's actually the 16th anniversary of one of our cousins that got married, and I had to learn this for their wedding. Now let's go to the
Sure.
pure stage.
I like to build sounds. So many times this is the way engineers work, right? So then if you're getting a good kick drum sound, you're saying, okay, what's the compression? What's the limiter? What's the EQ on it? Placement and so on. So when you're building the sound of I do the same thing with the piano. So I would start with something and I'd start adding something and kind of just build the sound. So yeah, this is great. Let's hear what the stage sounds like.
I'm gonna turn the pedal noises down.
Yeah, pedal noise, yeah.
I mean, that's just lovely. Wow.
On top of that, I would add out 2, which are the ribbon mics.
Oh,
And then you get a little more body in the low end.
man.
Mm.
Ribbons are my favorite. So these are these like
Coles.
oh yeah.
They're the classics.
Oh
the
man.
4038s or whatever they are. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Man. Ribbons to me, it's like velvet. It's like listening to velvet.
My heart just melts when I hear them.
And so does your motorcycle, or whatever was just driving past the window.
What was that? What is it?
I think so. 10. Hey, BF, this is for you. It's my best Incredible Hulk theme. I can remember Bill Bixby, Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. And just the depth, the stage, the sound stage. I've got to bring this up. This is something. So we're all into comparisons, and so this is definitely going to be compared with Noir. It's going to be compared with the Synchron CFX. It's going to be compared with the Garriton, and this is what I was talking to you about yesterday when we were just kind of chatting. Is that those other pianos were recorded in a studio setting. They were recorded in a large studio. Niels Fromm recorded his CFX in his studio. Abbey Road was the home of the Garriton CFX, Studio A, big studio space. Of course, the Synchron CFX was recorded on the Synchron stage, the big Synchron stage. This is different in the fact that it's recorded from a performance hall perspective. And
a piano performance hall.
A piano performance perspective. I think that's what sets this apart. And having these mic positions, the way that the way that you've done the mic positions and given us the actual impulse responses from the room, I think it just makes such a difference in how this sound is being experienced. So so when you're making comparisons, you've got to take everything in consideration. Not just the piano, it's the room, it's the environment, it's the mics, it's everything. Everything has to kind of come together with that. Wow. Little Michael Knight, So, what's another favorite of yours? And this has been and thank you so much for your time today, man.
Oh man,
this
I love
is
it.
This is just glorious.
My glory.
And let me just segue, just do a little. So, yeah, we're going to be with Jason a little bit longer, but just hang on because this is going to be pretty epic. Because but we're going to get to the Spitfire thing as soon as we can. But I want to make sure that we give Jason all the time that we need, and because we are getting ready to give away we're going to give it away. We're going to give away not just one, but Jason's agreed to give us a bonus one, and the bonus is going to be for you guys that are in the chat right now. So yeah, that's just awesome. Okay, let's go. Let's just do a little bit more, and then we'll do some giveaways and
sure.
Beautiful. So what's another one of your favorite sounds from this? Oh, you want to do? Let's just hit on the ambisonics.
Sure, let's do it. So we have to load it up.
So
Now, maybe while you're loading it up, I should kind of give a little background on ambisonics. I'm following your screen, so if my eyes are going crazy, I'm just following what you're doing. Ambisonics was a technology for sound field that was figured out in the 1970s, and what they figured out is that if they used 4 capsules on a microphone, that they could take any sound around that capsule and point the microphone at it. And you can create virtual microphones. So this one microphone allows you to have a stereo pair, or you can do 5.1 surround. It's kind of like the most flexible type of recording that we're seeing now. And
yeah,
so what's beautiful about this, and especially on a piano, is that one, developers in the near future, when you do this, you can, as a composer, write a piece of music that is a somber love song or something, and as someone is going through a movie or through a video production, they can walk by the piano.
wow.
Like they can hear, like you can make it sound like you're moving around or within that environment, at least on the stage, right? So there's ways to do that with processing with pianos now and reverbs and such, but this just makes it a little more immersive, right? The ability to do that.
Yeah.
So what you see on the interface here is you see we're creating 2 virtual microphones. Now within the interface, we can only do 360-degree pan. When I say only, is like whatever library allows you to turn yourself all the way around in, right at the instrument. But when you do external and you use another plugin, what it allows you to do is to get the height as well. So you can point the microphone up to the ceiling, you could point it down at your feet, and then move it at any position playing around. So what we're seeing here is 2 microphones, so stereo, and wherever you want to point them.
So this is from what position? Just outside of the piano, just a little bit
just outside of the piano, yeah.
And then we can take this and the width and spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we can bring it back.
Yep.
So
and that goes to mono. When you bring it back, that goes to mono.
So Justin, yeah, we talked about this earlier, but $149, that is the price. No intro, no, just a very fair price for that. So it's not an intro price. So there's yeah, it is what it is, and I think he made a great choice with that number because you're getting so much more than that.
Well, anyone who has 300 grand compact, we're giving you a full retail price on that back. So then if you bought 300 grand compact before 300 grand went on sale, we'll give you whatever price you paid for 300 grand compact as a refund towards 300 grand.
Wow. And okay, so we've got different, yeah, kind of walk us through some of this fun stuff here.
Sure, let's do it. My favorite, and what I think is the most balanced and probably the best perspective of the whole piano, is under ambisonic presets, where it goes Blumline or Bloomline, however you want to pronounce it. That one right there, you got it. This is what I consider the glory piano.
Yeah. And then you can always throw a reverb. You can throw reverb on that if you want.
Sure.
Does that work?
I would say even like, why do reverb when you can do the real thing, right? You could call up this one, because you're doing just the ambisonics, you can put like a second instance of 300 grand, and then you'd add the hall in, right? And then it would just be
Oh,
right. So then you got it. But in this case, yes, you could do the reverb. If you wanted to hear more reverb sound in the what you're playing, you could change the microphone perspective and point it to the back of the hall, right? So
so
I would try card, like move the
okay,
perspective up to card.
okay.
There you go. And then you take your angle, and right now it's facing forward, and grab any one of them, and that's forward. Then you're going, that's behind, right?
Okay.
So that's
Oh, wow. So it's like the mics are like pointing now away from the
yeah.
piano. And now we can just kind of,
You can move it while you're playing it, yeah.
that's kind of freaky. You can kind of hear those. Yeah, amazing. Amazing. Yeah, so you've just got so much control over. So straight up is
It's mono.
it's mono.
Yeah. So then, if most people kind of know recording, you'll know that XY is like 90 degrees, and that would be 90 degrees there.
It's just so present with you. Hey Jason, we're getting some comments about the lava lights. I just noticed yours back there just now.
Oh yeah.
Those are what I call power cores. Those are like on the Enterprise, the the cores,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I should have turned on my other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's going too? I don't know.
Let's see, what is it? That. I've been listening to some Sergio Mendes, yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Da, 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 ding, ding, ding. I can't remember what key it's in right now, but that's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's just kind of wrap this up, man, and for this segment, and just give us one more of your favorite things about.
We haven't even looked at like production, like. So then, what we could do is we could load up 32. V or even 22V if you wanted to. So 22V. And then, so this is just 22 velocities, but it'll give us the ability to explore what happens when you turn on sort of the tape simulation and limiting or that sort of thing. So one of the presets, or snapshots, I should say, is going to be like our production ready. Hang on a second, let's see what we got. 300 grand, robust all grand. So this is like everything on. Yeah. So we should end with a big bang, right? Cannons firing.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so somebody's talking about classical music, and I think I'm not a classical musician. It's just like I tell everybody all the time. I've got most of my classical music education from Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry. It's just such an amazing thing. But I think with the so staccato samples, So yeah, because we can. I just love being able to go. Yeah, I love being able to go just like right here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm choking the voice count. Let's see. I'm gonna go.
Just crank it up, 1500.
Well, 1024. That's a good.
You're so conservative.
Okay, I want to go more, because when I'm doing those repetitions like that, I'm going to go 2500, because I can start hearing the stealing when I'm just kind of doing. Yeah, now we're getting 1500 voices. Yeah. But we've got all 9 microphones going on. So when I play one note, I'm seeing like 22, 30 voices used. So that's what happens here. Okay, let's do this, Brian. Brian asked a question about sympathetic resonance.
Yep.
Sympathetic resonance.
So we have sympathetic resonance. It is simulated, but it's still being taken from samples. Yeah, so when you turn on sympathetic resonance, you'll get it. Oh, that might be a little bit high.
Okay.
But yeah. And it's going to use a lot of velocity count too when you have lots of microphones on. So it's kind of resource intensive. But if you hold down a G or whatever and then play a G major, try it above it or something, then yeah.
Okay, so I'll hold a G down here.
Yeah. You'll need an octave below to get. But
I kind of hear that ringing out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's just exaggerate a little bit.
There.
Yeah, so it's a little bit.
So we did it in a way that made sense for the velocity count, not velocity count, the polyphony count. So you're going to get octaves, fifths, a few fourths in there as well. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just killing the voice count. Yeah, 1500, you know. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, like, let's see. Yeah. aqua jibaber, camarão. Aqua jibaber, aqua jibaber, camarão. Jibabubop, ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Little Joe Beam, you know.
Man, you're killing it. It's awesome.
Yeah, and hear that sympathetic resonance now come in. It kind of sneaks in there.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question. Somebody had asked, would you guys ever consider developing a reverb plugin?
You know, I actually looked into that, and I just thought, you know, we've created our own impulse responses for our libraries, but I'm not quite sure that it would be. I'm trying to think of the right word. There's other people who can do it just as good or better than me. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
If you hit Master Effects, we haven't even looked at like turning on the tape sim and such, right?
Okay.
So, yeah. There you go. Turn on the tape sim. There you go. It's going to be preset. You don't have to worry about pulling anything down. It's just going to be.
Yeah, that just gives a little.
Yeah. Then I preset the master EQ. So you can turn that on. You'll get a little bass bump and a little high end bump.
It's just so rich. And let's see what we've got. Yeah, and so we've got a different mixer page along with this right here. Yeah, we've got all these mics pulled up, and it's just so beautiful. So the out 2 is the
ribbons. Yeah,
is the ribbons. So I'm gonna see. Do we have a solo? Can we solo?
Yep,
Yeah, we can solo this. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I just. Yeah, and that's the thing. You've got this whole Master Effects section right here in my best Vanna White, you know. Just so gorgeous. Okay.
If anyone's engineer as well, audio engineer, it's set up just like an analog console, right? So
it is. Yeah, that's just so cool. And we got a transient designer. Yeah, so you basically just have everything you need to kind of, and that's why I guess your company's called Production Voices, because these pianos are created for your productions, for your yeah. Yeah. Listen to that. I don't know that. I just know the hook of ribbon in the sky. Now you guys are starting to tweak me now. Isn't she lovely, beautiful? Yeah, and that's kind of a good way to end this segment. Isn't she lovely? Isn't this piano lovely? It is just beautiful, and I'm telling you, we could spend so much time. And I tell you what, you definitely got to come back.
Oh,
You get
anytime,
you got to come.
anytime.
You gotta come
Oh,
back. You've got to come
man,
back.
just invite me on your show and I'll just listen to you play all day.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. I'm getting, you guys, man, you're too much. I want to turn the sympathetic resonance down and
You have to choose a reverb to add it to it.
yeah, I do. Let's put it in a church, like a cathedral here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these other mics down a little bit, off.
You should be soloed, I think, anyways, right?
Oh,
Word soloed?
so when yeah. So is it still using voices when it's soloed?
Yeah, it looks like it is.
Yeah. What a friend we have in Jesus.
Yeah, you have the hymns down.
What a friend we have in Jason. And so I'm going to go back to the Wheel of Fun. Hang around, just hang around with me while we do these drawings here. And,
Let's do it.
And so, so I'm going to go back to the Wheel of Fun and Jason. Let's see. Okay, I've got to pull this up here. And let me make sure. Now this first drawing that we're going to do, this is from the participants that entered the form. I closed the entry forms a little bit earlier before the live stream, but we're going to have one for you guys right now. But this is for the drawing. So here we go. This is for one copy of the 300 grand. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. That's hilarious. Okay, we're going to remove non-applicable. And let's try it again. That's hilarious. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's just a test run. Okay, congratulations to Phil Lamb. Congratulations for winning this Production Voices 300 grand. So congratulations. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do. This is kind of like a test run, and we're going to do a giveaway for everybody that's in the chat. Oh, wow. Okay, I see you guys there. And so let's see. Okay, so I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to count it down, and then I'm going to just roll, and we're going to select a winner from the chat. And so what we'll do, so if you win, I'll put the email address in the link in the chat. So here we go. I'm going to roll this thing. We're going to start this giveaway, and we'll see how this works. So you're ready? And all of you who are in the chat now are eligible. So here we go. Oh, wow. Okay, Ro Bamondi Music. Ro Bamonde is the winner of this giveaway. Wow. That worked pretty good. To winners at praisetracks.com. So Ro, if you're still in the chat, yeah, just check that out. Just send me an email, and just let you know if I don't hear from you in a couple of days. We'll just pick another winner, and hopefully that'll work out. So okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Well, Jason, thank you so much. So
Oh, it's so awesome being on the show.
so thank you guys. And okay. So blessings to you. Thank you so much for your generosity. And
Thank you for you and all of the things you do for the community, man. It's amazing.
I love it. I love doing this. So it's great. Okay, yeah, Ro, you're there. So good. So send me an email at winners@praisetracks.com, and then also I'll get the information to from Phil. I'll get that to you, Jason, and then when Ro contacts me, I'll get those to you, and he'll set you up. So thank you so much for joining me today.
It was amazing. Thanks again.
Okay, man. And just check the links in the description and make sure you pick up Production Voices 300 Grand. And I know you're going to love it. You're going to love experiencing it and putting it into your arrangements, because it's just such a beautiful, powerful instrument. And I've enjoyed sharing it with you guys. So, okay, man. So we'll see you soon. Really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Stay joyful, Jason.
I always do.
Okay. Man, that is tremendous. That is just tremendous. Okay, so we're going to roll through this. We're going to roll through this pretty quick, and I just am so grateful for Jason being with us. Just so amazing. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Essentials Bundle. Okay, so if you had seen the Guess a Score thing that Spitfire did on Wednesday, I actually was there on the live stream, and I was so excited about the contest that I made a response, and my response was the correct answer, and so the prize was this Essentials Bundle, and I felt bad because I already had this, and I wanted somebody else wanted to be able to give it away, or somebody else. So Spitfire reached out to me and they said, you know what? We love what you're doing on the channel. We're going to give you a few copies of the Essentials Bundle to give away. And so that's what we're going to do. And I just want us to go ahead and take a quick look at what's included. So what's included in the Essentials Bundle is, let's just pull this up. It's the Originals Media Toolkit, and Epic Brass and Woodwinds, and Epic Strings. So you're going to get 3 of some really wonderful originals libraries. And so I'm going to pull up the Epic Strings, and we'll just run through these just real quick. And what I like about Epic Strings is the fact that you have this strings life patch that lets you go between. There we go. You can go between shorts and longs here. So I'm playing a little short here, or I can play long. So that's the live patch. And let me see. Let me just reestablish my connection here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, man. It's just so wonderful. And we'll go through a couple more of the strings, and then we'll give one of these away. That's great. Okay, here we go. And let's just go to the longs. And so the live just goes between the longs and shorts by velocity, but now you have control over dynamics when you just select the longs. And you can crank up that dynamic. So this, let's see, Tez with threads. Yeah, so the controller here, it's the Studio Logic mix face, and it's a must-have, especially if you have the SL88. It's a control surface. It can work as a DAW control, and so I've got my expression mapped to the first fader, and then the dynamics or CC1 is in this fader, so I can. Just gorgeous strings here. And I love the consordinos. Here we go. Oh, yeah. And then we can crank the dynamic layer up. It's just so lush. And then this is just the room mics. And yes, Intimate Strings is like one of my favorite originals. It's the Intimate Strings, I guess it's the cinematic Frozen strings. Those are just so gorgeous. But these are beautiful. These are beautiful too. The Epic Strings. The Epic Strings have got a little more bump into it. Hey, you know what? Unexpected. That burning a CD video. I think it's just like the most watched. It's just crazy. So thank you for that. So you've got the shorts. And this is just with the room mic. And then we can do the close mic. Let's turn the close mic on. Yeah, and listen to that. That's nice. And now let's go on to short ostinato. And then you have control over the dynamic layer here. And let's just do pizzicato. Okay, so this is just one that's included, and you have octaves. So that's Epic Strings, and so let's go ahead and give one of these away. Let's give one of these away. And let's see. Let's do it. Here we go. We're going to give an essentials bundle away. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Other Species. Other Species has won. Congratulations. Congratulations. So Other Species, send us a message to winners at praisetracks.com. Praisetracks.com. Yeah. So congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, so let's go to the next item in the yeah, man, congratulations. Congratulations. Send me an email, praisetracks at winners at praisetracks.com. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to, that's Epic Strings and Epic Brass and Woodwinds. Let's check this one out. And the brass is just killing it with this. I love that live patch. Get that chord change. That is very epic, very epic. And let's see. And then we've just got longs, and you've got the dynamic layer. Frank, you're good. I mean, it's like, it's just incredible. It's incredible. Okay, and then the shorts, and what the live does. Wow. You just have so much life. You have so much life. Wow. Yeah. Let me go back to the live. Let me go back to the live patch for this. I'm running out of notes. throw in some of the distort. That is crazy. And they always throw in a crazy signal in the end. That's incredible. Okay, let's go with the woodwinds here. Subdivisions. Yeah. Not this, but what I was playing earlier. Yeah, beautiful. And you've got the longs and shorts. This is part of the Essentials library. So the Essentials library comes with the Epic Strings, Epic Brass and Woodwinds, and Media Toolkit. And yes, Jeremiah, yeah, I am adding some reverb here. Let's just let's turn the reverb all the way off and turn the release all the way up. Now this is just the room. And then you've got the close mic that gets you a little drier sound. Well, Tez with Threads, you know what? You can do super chats, and you can become a channel member, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways you can support the channel, and I just really appreciate it. It's incredible. Yeah, I had maxed the reverb, and I think what I did, let me just do the shorts. So the reverb is here. Let me turn the reverb off, and the release, there are no release settings here with this. But let's just listen to the room with the shorts without reverb. This is without any reverb. So that's really cool. I love what they've done here with this. And the other cool thing is that all of these are unified. I actually unified these myself so you can put these in Unify and combine and come up with some crazy things in Unify. Okay, so the last, okay, so now before we go on to Media Toolkit, let's go ahead and do another giveaway. Let's give another one of these away. Okay, so Other Species was our first winner. And yeah, these are $29. These are $29 a piece regularly, and then you get this special package. So here we go. Here we go. We're going to give away another one of the Essentials bundles here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're going to roll it. Okay. Wow. Facial implosion. Congratulations. You won a copy of the Essentials bundle, and that is so cool. That is so cool. Send an email to winners@praisetracks.com. And thank you so much. Yeah. So I've got to, yeah, man, you won. You won. Congratulations. Okay. So now let's go to the media toolkit. And this is the last originals in the bundle. These were actually recorded in Paul Thompson's studio, and this is his C7 in the studio. And with all of Spitfire pianos, there's not that many velocity layers, but you get the color of the sound. So you've got, not only do you have the sound of the piano, but you have a nice pad that you can layer. Got a nice pad. And let's go get some flute effects here. Just some unusual. Get some flute effects. Yeah, Stephen, you know what? I've got a way that I'm able to give away through the chat. So just as long as you're in the chat, we have a way to make that happen. And we've got 2 more of these to give away. So, and I think this library, this is my favorite sound, is the guitar. I want to turn the hairpins down a little bit. Now the hairpins are basically the sounds playing forward and reverse. And then you can just layer that. And then we also have the soft pad going. Okay, so let's just listen to the hairpins by themselves. So you've got this really cool reverse effect. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see something here. Yeah, you get me going. You get me going with Tom. I'm gonna turn the hairpins down and Let me see if the releases, we've got some, yeah, we've got the releases here. I'm gonna turn the releases down, so. Now let's turn the reverb off too. Yeah, thanks, Jeremiah. We've got a lush reverb and then the plate reverb. Let's see. And then we can layer a pad in that as well. Yeah, let's go back to the piano real quick. I love that. I love Antonio Carlos Jobim. His music is so beautiful. So we've got some marimbas. Yeah, and everything here is just kind of soaked with the bunch of reverb and things. You've got different layers here that you can blend in. And let's just see. Let's just go on some more. You got a telephone? Oh, that's really beautiful. Really beautiful. And let's see. And then we've got some pads. Wow. Wow was right. So you've got a couple of analog synth pads and bass. So this is like a really neat, yeah, I do see that. I don't know why it's not getting through. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Yeah, we've got this on here. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a really cool, it's a really cool toolkit. I was just checking my meter there. Let's see, latch locker. So you've got a lot of interesting household effects, computer keyboard sounds, just all kinds of fun things. And let's see, some bowls. So you can create that. You can create some really cool ambient, fun things here. Paper shaker. Yeah, some cool effects here. And you've got knocks, just different percussive sounds that you can kind of incorporate. Soft knocker. So you can plug these into like an arpeggiator or something and create really interesting patterns here. Little tambourine. And I like the way they split this so you can do those two-handed shaking types of things. There is just so much here. String hits. And I know that this has been just such an epic stream for me. Just amazing. I'm going to go back to the piano. Yeah. And let's pull the pad up just a little bit. Yeah, Face Implosion, there's all kinds of really fun and quirky percussive elements in this. Okay, so let's go ahead and give away. Let's go ahead and give away another one of these. Okay, you ready? So this is going to be for our third copy of the Essentials bundle. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Cherry Sound Production Portfolio. Congratulations. Make sure, let's see. Winners at praisetracks.com. Congratulations. And, while we're here, let's go ahead and do one more. Let's go ahead and do one more. So here we go. Thank you guys so much. Man, congratulations, Cherry Sound. Congratulations. And before we roll the last one, before we select the last winner, just send me your favorite hymn. Send me a favorite hymn in the chat, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with that. And just send me your favorite hymn. And here we go. I'm going to do one more, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Frank Bell, congratulations, Frank. You are the winner. Wow. Wow, congratulations, Frank. Okay, wow, okay, wow, man, wonderful. I'm seeing some really good songs here. Wow. Yeah. People need the Lord. People need the Lord. At the end of broken dreams, He's the open door. Yeah. I sing because I'm happy. And I sing because I'm free. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. If His eye is on the sparrow, then I know He watches me. Well, I think this has definitely been, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for this beautiful live stream that we had today. Thank you for all my friends. Thank you for Jason and for this beautiful piano that he created for us to enjoy. Thank you for the generosity of Spitfire and Jason to provide these beautiful libraries for all of my wonderful viewers. And I just so grateful. This has been an epic. I told you, didn't I tell you this? Yeah. I'm so grateful. I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude for all of the blessings that I've experienced and the blessings of being with you this afternoon, this evening. This has just been so wonderful. And so I'm going to leave you now, but it won't be for long. And I just want to make sure that you remember to always stay joyful. And I cannot wait until the next live stream. More giveaways, more fun. And I tell you what, if you get a chance, send Spitfire a note and send Jason a note and let them know that you watched today and that you've been enjoying the content. If you've been enjoying the content, let them know. And again, thank you so much. And thank you, Les Fuller. You see that little green icon? That means he is one of our channel supporters, and I'm so grateful for that support, grateful for all of your support. And so until next time, this is Simeon with PraiseTracks.com, and I'm reminding you to always stay joyful. And I look forward to seeing you next time.